Are you there? It says recording. She's not there. Hello?
I'm here. Sorry, it had asked me whether I gave permission or not, and I thought I
Okay.
clicked it. Can you hear me now?
I'm hearing you quite clearly.
Okay. I'm trying to
Yeah.
see if the other one.
I think my granddaughter got it recording. I think we.
But tell her we appreciate her. 'Cause
She says she
I'm
appreciates
not
you,
techie like this.
just like myself. Okay. So is it just both of us this time again?
That's what I'm trying to see. I saw she responded and said that it worked for her, but she's not here. And I said this coming Tuesday.
I saw because I didn't get back. As I told you, my husband passed away and my brain is just going haywire, all the planning and everything. So
I completely understand, and my
get
sympathy
back.
for that.
Yeah, I didn't get back on it too. I saw it this evening when I came home. I said, oh, there. That was when we tried to create the link. Yeah. So we go ahead today.
I mean, I guess I don't really see the point of keeping on rescheduling if she responded this time, and then I mean we can give like 2, 3, I guess more minutes, but then if not,
Yeah.
I would.
Oh, she's on.
Oh, she's on now. Oh,
Hello.
there she is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she's here. We were just wondering. Good afternoon. Not hearing you. Are you hearing her?
Now unmute. You might have to click
There we go.
the
Yeah,
mic button
no,
again to.
I was hiccuping with like logging in. It wasn't letting me do it unless I actually installed Teams, which normally it's not that hard to get along with. I can get it to load in the browser.
Okay.
Yeah, about to mine is loaded in the browser. I have no clue how to install it.
I didn't have to. I did mine on Teams. Yeah. Sorry about that. And welcome. We were just wondering if you're getting on.
The best that I can. This semester feels like it's dragging.
It's dragging. I was just sharing with my group member here that it's so stressing for me right now. I lost my husband last week.
Oh no.
Yeah, and uh, it's just overwhelming. I wish I didn't have to do this. Yeah,
That's a lot, a lot.
a lot, whole lot. Yeah. Mm. So the recording is like recording the whole discussion.
Yes, I believe so. From like start to finish. So I guess you can see we did at least 45 minutes or the hour and see what we've discussed. And then I guess we need to just figure out who wants to do the report first. And I
I
just
I would like ask let's one of you take on that challenge right now, please. I don't think I can. I can really.
That's
My
fair.
thing. Yeah, right now. I wish we didn't have to do all this until after, but it is what it is. Yeah. Mhm.
Megan, you feel comfortable doing the first one and then I'll do the second one and Harvey you can do the last one or something and we can just rotate like that.
Somewhere about that. Yeah.
All right. Do we have some, like, what's our checklist of stuff we've got to do for it?
So on the module 1 and 2 discussion,
There we
it
go.
has a whole like criteria. It just has to have a summary of a group discussion with insights and synthesizes at least 500 words, in-text citations and a reference list in
Yeah.
correct APA format. And then like
And
We
some
just
questions
answer
for
and
us.
some like pilot questions for us to answer.
All right. And pop that over into Word and get us rolling and going.
Okay.
Plus, I can even send you one of. It wasn't from this class. It was from a previous class, like discussion template. If that
Okay.
helps.
That would be great.
It always makes my nerves terrible doing the first one. I don't know why.
Lord. Okay.
All right. Well, I guess where do y'all want to get started?
So we're starting with discussion, alignment and tensions around instructional sequence in modules 1 and 2. That's where we start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you put the light on over this side for me? Mhm. Yeah, so I go ahead. I'm looking across model 1 and 2. Many authors or speakers made it a clear point that the order in which reading skills are taught matters. What do you think about that?
I personally agree with it because I think like phonemic and phonological awareness that it does need to happen in the earlier grades, and then it of course just builds on top of each other. There were a lot of almost repeated or like it repeated a lot, but in different ways to me, I think, in the different documents, especially like with the reading rockets and the science of reading, which is the new thing that Georgia is even pushing. Now it just how where it just really just reiterates how to properly do the different reading steps and how it intertwines with each other and how they can build on top of each other.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I would endorse that because you have to teach it in a special way so that the children will understand what reading or literacy is all about. It's not just for a child who is not exposed to the reading content or anything like that, they just wouldn't be able to take a book up and read through it and understand the concept of reading. So I do believe it must be taught in a specific way. Yeah.
Much like a continuum, because you have to have that strong foundation, because otherwise you are stumbling on those building blocks to read
Mm-hmm.
themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, they all build on top of each other because if the bottom part falls and it's just gonna be a domino effect and the rest is gonna crumble.
Exactly. So, phonemic awareness is key in reading. So that's one of the major steps that we must teach to them.
I thought it was interesting, Lauren, how you said that you guys are moving into reading rockets at your school.
No. I was
No.
saying how it was like reading rockets. That was one of the articles from I believe it was the module 2. It was one of the websites that we're supposed to read.
Bill too. Okay.
Um, how it also goes into this. They were talking about the science of reading, and my school had us do that like 2 years ago. We had to be certified before Georgia started like pushing it out across the I guess to everyone.
Okay,
It is
my
great.
misunderstanding. No, I thought it because I only just about 2 years ago, the county I was working in was just introducing the reading rope. And I thought it was interesting. Like a lot of these seem so much older in what's being presented, but it's just now hitting into our districts.
I mean, they're to me, and I've said this before. I just think they're almost just trying to find like reinventing the wheel, the stuff that's been around, but calling it different things. Like we're not saying multi-sensory now, it's multimodal.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have all three of the stages instead of just, we had the struggling readers and the proficient readers and then, your average. But now we have the different sectors along with, then they're focusing on like the dyslexia and stuff like that. And they want to break down with the phonemic awareness, how with the oral concept and whether the text is it the appropriate grade level text or if it's rich and the peer research and all the background factors that can play in all plays into a factor with it.
Okay. Um,
Because even as it says for what is it, the Reading Rockets, because I made some notes where it says science of reading, how it refers to it as a rigorous research that shows how children or about how children can read, write, and spell developed over decades, drawing from education, linguistics, psychology, and neuroscience.
okay.
So we had one of the prompts that it listed for the discussion was across the readings and videos, reading is repeatedly described as not natural in the way
Mm-hmm.
spoken language is, and using the different theories or modules, explaining how this claim shapes what we believe early reading instruction must prioritize. So what does those lenses help us see, and what does it risk oversimplifying?
I think that in teaching reading, it must be explicit phonemic awareness must be intentional. Because when we get students to understand the sounds of letters, we know that letters form words and they can put them together to build their words and also to build their sentences. So I think we should be intentional how we teach phonemic awareness.
Yes, I agree. A
And
lot of the different documents state, or in some type of way or form, they say, "Oh, the reading's not a natural process." Like one of the Reading Rockets said it. Also, the Dyslexia and Reading Wars had said it. And that needs to be explicitly taught, or just have, as she, or piggybacking off of her too, how it needs to have some type of structured literacy. I don't think reading's natural because, I mean, really nothing's it can become natural once it is learned or taught, but I mean, nothing anyone's ever really done has just been like, just happened naturally. It's taken time to build upon.
sure.
I think as far as like where it says the risk of oversimplifying is, I think that's where we run into where there's so much of that letter identification stress for like pre-K and like daycares, as far as like the foundationals, that we're so busy with this is the letter A rather than the sounds
The
and
sound,
playing with those.
exactly. Yeah.
And I
We
think
have
that's where that could come in.
Yeah, it's important that we teach the sound because they have to get that before we can present to them prints. They have to learn the sounds of letters and be able to blend in before they can develop the word and realize the print.
Yeah, I agree. And they have to know like the sound rules or letter rules too, because so I teach first grade and we do the Ortho Gillingham is mandated in my county, and we have to, and before we even like teach them how to read the words, like we got to teach like the different vowel tense and the different letter sounds for each one beforehand. So they just can't know like, well, A says A also says A can say A can say different things if it's bar different or depending on the consonants. It just all depends.
Exactly.
Okay. Another one of the prompts here was several authors and speakers in module wanted to argue that instructional sequence matters. For example, phonics before meeting or systemic routines before independence. Drawing on the resources in these modules, where do you see clear alignment across sources and where do you see important tensions? I feel like we kind of talked about that earlier.
It came up, yeah. Mm-hmm.
See if I can paraphrase for this. Let's see. We had
Yeah, I know the Dyslexia Reading Wars talked about the explicit systemic phonics and a couple other ones too. I'm trying to look through my notes.
Okay.
The science, what is it, litigating phonics science polemic, they talk about reading development includes multiple interacting components.
Okay, and they're looking also at the value of predictable routines. So the
Science
students,
of reading routine.
right, yeah. So they are aware of what is next, and they can predict, which will help them also to understand, the sounds and how to blend the sounds in to create reading.
There's like the article with the troubles of binary science. They talked about the reading of science, how it highlights it and how it works together with the word recognition and the language comprehension.
Yeah.
And that teacher should avoid the what is it? The one like the one shoe fits all type literacy approach.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, because you have to know your students and definitely at the level that they're at. So as we said, we have to do you have to know them so that you can really do an activity to suit the child's need. Differentiated activities.
Yeah, definitely differentiate or tier different interventions for each of them depending on it.
Did we see any, one of the other parts of the question was, where do you see important tensions? Like across the resources. I'm not gonna lie, after a while, a lot of the resources kind of sounded like they were saying a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah, about
The
saying
same
sort of
thing,
like
basically.
redundant.
It was just like, I don't know, like it started to blur.
It sort of to me we're just repeating the same concepts or the same like ideas, just different wordings. Like a lot of them all revolved around the reading the signs or signs of reading. Sorry, it's been a long day today. And how the importance of the explicit reading instruction, how it should either go in certain steps and why it shouldn't just be like overall, but it should be more reflective or geared toward the students.
And also in the reading, you can read and different ideas, one paragraph, but each person will come up with different ideas. So that could be a tension also in the meaning.
Okay. I'm gonna also put in, because I know there was some, like, thinking about the oh, my brain cannot.
Yeah, that's
the,
it.
the
We falter.
rope one, as far as like, there's sometimes where it's like all of them seem to intertwine, and so it could be interpreted like teach all of the skills at once,
Mm-hmm.
instead of like, no, that they all intertwine,
Segmenting.
that you do need to, finagle your approach.
I think they intertwine once you can get up to a certain level of progression.
Mm-hmm.
Like, definitely not in the early stages, absolutely not. Like, phonemic awareness, if we're barely learning letter sounds, I'm not going to be able to read a sentence for you if I don't know what my letters even say and I can't segment them or blend them together in a sentence. But as it all goes hand in hand with the rope, I think once every part or each skill is become mastered and successful, then
Yeah,
each string of the rope becomes intertwined into actually making the rope, not just having the strands or the strings.
exactly. So when starting from the basic and then you intertwine as you suggested,
Mm.
it helps to develop their knowledge about reading. So I think the coding in reading, that's a strong point where they need to have strong decoding skills in order to read.
Another one of the prompts was, some authors in Module 2 both warn against binary thinking in the science of reading, while others make strong claims about what works. How should educators navigate moments when research, classroom experience, and policy mandates do not fully align?
Uh, that's when you do what you're supposed to do for your kids and just shut the door. Um, yeah, that one, because yeah, part of what is it for module 2? Like, one of the reading rockets, science of reading, how refers to it or talks about rigorous research, and it draws from, again, to me, they're talking about the same thing, but just trying to word it different. So they're talking about the science of reading and how it's research developed in neuroscience and education and linguistics. But then the other article that again was the other reading rocket. Is it reading rocket? Yeah, reading rockets. It talked about evidence-based instruction. So instead of calling it research-based, now they're just saying, or how it evidence-based is just classroom practices grounded upon research evidence, but not in traditional. Now it's considered a more positive outcome.
I wonder how much with a lot of the courses, like the other courses throughout this the graduate program, in regards to like the teacher leader information, is this one of those times, as far as like with research, classroom experience, and policy mandates, as far as talking about advocating as a teacher leader to share the information to support with districts aligning in best practices?
Could you rephrase?
No, like with the question of how should educators navigate moments when research, classroom experience, and policy mandates do not fully align? Is that maybe, as far as saying that's a good opportunity for teacher leaders to be able to advocate the research
Oh,
to
okay.
district leaders to improve the classroom
Right.
experiences?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I think so,
I
but then
think, yeah,
again,
I think,
the ones who speak up, they sort of tend to, they got to be willing to speak up
Mhm.
yeah, because
and
if the
not be
research
afraid
is
of the
done,
downfall for speaking up.
Yeah, once the research is done and can be proven, then you should speak up so that you can put it into action because it might just work, you know?
Mm. And it had multiple sources suggest that what works best for dyslexic or striving readers often works for all readers given appropriate dosage and support. Using the early or behavioral lenses, identify why this might be true and identify potential risks of applying specialized approaches universally without reflection.
Um, that one's referring to the dyslexia parts.
Mm-hmm.
With that, I think they're just talking about because dyslexia really, as it states in some of the articles, is not just like a one, oh, like they're flipping their letter B, they're dyslexic. There's so much of the unknown that can still be considered dyslexic. Again, it's not just like a one shoe fits all. So I think they're just trying to talk about like incorporating the different interventions that you might use when you're trying to determine if someone could perhaps be dyslexic to accommodate the different students, even though they might not even be dyslexic, but just for like the interventions or the scaffolding or the different supports that they may need.
Yeah. So like if you had like a handful of dyslexic kids in a class and a handful of like just general like they haven't been screened to this, that, and the other, and you just give everybody the dyslexia approach, then what what's the risk of what's going to happen to everybody in the room?
Yeah, I believe that we could it should be segmented because if you have a class with some students are dyslexic and you have other students who are progressing, then we have to be careful how we present to them because you want to move the ones that are progressing forward and to try and aid the ones that are struggling.
Yeah, I think it just means just maybe not do the same intervention with everyone, but
Yeah.
just do one of the versions of the interventions. Like I have kids in my class who I'm almost positive they are dyslexic. But then in my exact same class, I have kids who can read on a fifth
Can
grade
we, yeah.
level and they can teach the class if I told them to and just give them the lesson and the topic and I can just sit back, not saying that I've done that. Um, but yeah, just like with the same, I just think it's talking about just like the different interventions that could be used, like as you're trying to determine whether someone's dyslexic, as oh, well, you've differentiated instruction, you've done visual inputs, you've done different texts, and so forth and so on. You've done different font or phonemic awareness and a different intervention. I think that's what it's just talking about. Sorry, those are my dogs in the background.
Okay. Well, that's all the question prompts that it really had for discussion too for us to fill in.
Those are
Like
all the
some of it was
prompts.
like a matter of being able to put in. Let's see. That's a lot of it we did.
We went through quickly.
We'll put the name of the group, a working link to the recording, a summary of our discussion, and in-text citations. Blech.
Mm,
I'll play around with that some, like how you referenced the reading rockets.
mm,
The you did the other one, the binary. Like we'll pull out something and stick it in there.
Yeah, I
mm.
think you may want citation or
I'm
the
looking at the
APA for
rubric.
The,
each.
The
the
rubric just says summary post, group discussion, and professionalism with APA formatting, but it
APA
doesn't
format.
say like we have to have X number of citations.
Mm.
So, we can look back through.
So from the readings,
see.
probably, you know, I
Mhm.
understand. Yeah. Mhm.
So that way we can, it actually reflects that we talked about things.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And do we have... where's my button? Lauren, when you were talking about, you had something flagged from the science of reading. Do you want, what do you have? As far as if we're going to go ahead and plug it in as an in-text citation.
Sure. Which part? Let me go to my little note things
That's a
from it.
great question. I probably should have made some notes on
Is
that.
it?
Look, we got a lot of good
The
talk
reading,
about, so
how the reading rocket, science of reading, it
And
refers
the
to the
starry
rigorous
spots.
research.
yeah, because we had the first question was about research. And what the lens helps us to see and is there what was a good quote that you had from that one?
That's how the from the reading rocket, science of reading thing. I think it was a little website, I believe. And just how it refers to the rigorous research of how children learn to read, write, and spell over decades, drawn from education, linguistics, and neuroscience. And they also emphasized how the reading did not occur naturally, it had to be explicitly taught. And then they talk about the difference between like basic research and actual instructional evidence.
Did you have a specific quote that you had kept from them on that, or?
I cut and paste like different little things I took from it and wrote.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Let's see what I...
But it's from the Reading Rockets Science of Reading, that article. Or I think that was one of the websites he had us go there.
It is.
On an article, sorry.
Let's see. It's on the whole readings and natural process. Let's see what we got in here. Um,
Remy. Shh.
This one might be good as first to toss in. Evidence-based instructional strategies are aligned with how children learn to read, write, and spell.
Yeah.
And the evidence base for reading instruction constantly evolves and changes. And we could kind of add that in for that first question about what does each lens help us to see and what does it risk oversimplifying? We could kind of use that as like our springboard. Is just going to tuck that in.
Yeah. And or tie it back with that other one where, what was it, when we're talking about whether it occurs naturally or not? Because if it evolves over time, then that's not exactly, that means it has to keep on building upon something.
Exactly. Let's go get that. My buttons. Oh, no, wrong button. And I'm going to send this to our email chain for you all to look over before we toss anything in.
Okay.
That's the button I'm looking for. Don't mind me.
So,
I have a Grammarly, and the Grammarly also helps with citations, and I like that.
haven't used them. I've been tempted.
Well, and we have, as far as with the University of West Georgia, we have free access to Grammarly.
No, we do.
Mhm.
Really?
At least
I
we
haven't
did
even
last
paid
month.
that any mind then. I'm gonna start using it now.
Yeah,
A year
they
into
pay
my
you
We
the whole
got to
year,
use
like,
it. Mhm.
yeah, or at least they did, unless something changed to it where, but it was a whole thing as far as like, hey, students have access to like free Grammarly through us. I'm like, all right, cool.
That's good.
No one ever told me that. That's news
I
to
didn't
me.
know either.
That's why I thought, okay, I'm about to play around with it then, see if it's still free.
I hope so. Don't let me have to eat my words. Okay, so we put that one in. You were also talking about the one from Module 2. The trouble with binaries. That's the one we wanted to dig something out too.
Ah, there is.
Let's see. It is not showing up on my screen right. It's showing up, but it's weird. Because we wanted this for that binary question too.
Mhm.
Look at the question. See if something stands out.
Let me see. Trying to get these articles to pull back up.
Yeah, feel free if you see something like that we can.
See, that's why I'm trying to scroll on my other one.
I don't think we need to have like a lot of citations. But okay. Warn against binary thinking in the science of reading while others make a strong case. How should. Okay. So we want something about like how the educators navigate based on this article. Okay, baby. Let me finish my thing and then I will address your calendar questions. My home child is trying to ask me questions while we do this.
Trust me, I got 3 of my own, and y'all keep hearing my 2 dogs because I'm not paying them attention right now.
Just
I say one of the quotes for even the science of reading, it's literally on the Reading Rocket's evidence-based one. It says that the learning to read is not natural, it must be taught. Literally, it's in the first and second sentence. Teach reading is
There's a lot of
complex.
good stuff. Like I wish all of the bullet points where it's just like these are all the things that are important in literacy. And like if I could just copy paste all of that, but I can't make it relevant. Let's see. Let's start towards the bottom.
And then I guess as you're doing the first one, I guess Harvey will also need to, whenever we wrap up, like, I guess copy and paste the hyperlink for the video.
the hyperlink for this video.
Yeah, like once we finish, I think it should email you as you're the owner. or the person who set it up, I think it should email you like the copy of the video or the hyperlink for it for the recording.
Ask my granddaughter to help me out here.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. You got it? She said we have to copy the hyperlink and
I think it should send either like a hyperlink or some type of file with the video on it, because we have to turn that into.
No, that's the other one. That's the
I
different.
don't think it will do it now. I think it has to wait till like we end.
The end. I'm trying to sort. See, I'm not sure how this is done.
I don't like anything in the trouble with binaries to quote from it. Like you would think as far as with the question being focused on binaries, I could pull something else. But like the more I'm sitting there with it, the more I'm like, I hate everything this thing has to say. I don't want to cite it.
Yeah, I like the other ones a little bit better than that one.
I'm just trying to see. Kayla, you didn't find out how to do this? You find out how to send this? Oh, why in Spanish? Okay.
Oh, perfect. The dyslexia question, we're just gonna, from the dyslexia and the reading wars, just take the quotation. There are reasons for the inconsistency because we were already talking about how everything with dyslexia is so different. And that can help support our statement on that. And boom, we have 2 citations. That's good for me. I don't know how y'all feel, but I feel okay on that.
Yeah, they didn't give us an exact amount.
They're
So
not like, yeah, I say because it wasn't this teacher, but one of the other teachers, like, no, you have to have it for each article. Like, they were very like,
Oh yeah,
and to read
some of
each
the other
article, you had to have APA citations for each articles. That's why this one, as it's not as like, I guess, precise. I'm like, because in the unknown, I don't want to get points taken off because because of it.
Okay. Ink.
And then I think our next meeting supposed to be.
I think it's in February. February 12th, I think.
Well, I just kind of tossed some dates on that that thing. I tried to go a little bit early on when a lot of the discussions were due because I didn't want us to ever be stuck in a lurch, which worked out really well because the other professor that I have this semester, he is a talker. He kept us on for like 2.5 hours last week.
Yes. What course is
Who's
that?
your other teacher you have?
Dr. Morris.
What course is that?
It is, hold on, let me pull up the course.
Because I haven't had him yet, or that. I've had Dr. Sullivan. I like her. And I've had Abbott or Abbott. I think I'm saying his name wrong.
He does the advanced curriculum seminar,
Oh.
and he loves to talk. He loves to talk.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, no, it's fine with me. That means it's up out the way.
But yeah, so if we need to, we can reapproach as far as like, do we need to meet on the 12th? Do we need to juggle it for a different day based on deadlines? But yeah, I stuck all those dates into the file when I was just like first playing at the start of the semester.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, so those dates on the 12th.
Oh yeah, so it is the 12th. Okay.
So we do have some flexibility.
Because I am going to be out of country. for
Our next
Oh,
module discussion like this isn't due until March 22nd.
we have one that is due for the 12th and the next one for the for March.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
this
I'm
one's the
just
one that's due for the 12th. This one's the
Yeah.
one that we're doing right now.
Oh,
That's what she's saying. She's the one who put the dates down in it. So what we're
Yes.
doing right now is the one that's due in like almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
and the next
So
one is March.
the next one is March, and then there's like one in April, and we'll be good.
Oh, so we'll be fine because I'll be back
There
by
you
then.
go.
So I have to go down for the burial to do the funeral arrangements and such.
Hey, you got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't need to talk to the professors about like
I'll be
I mean, I
fine.
don't know about anything for that because that's a big thing.
Yeah. But for the March, I'll be back and I'll be able to. Yeah.
Don't push yourself too hard. We can always
Thank
help you through
you.
another semester.
Thank
Well,
you.
maybe Lauren can. I'm graduating in May, so.
You're graduating in
Yeah.
May.
I'll still be here at least till fall.
Okay. I'll try. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, get this. I think I'm just gonna save that as is. Okay. And then I'm gonna email it out.
And for the recording, I'll try to do that.
Letters. Okay. And when we end the call, it should be able to support with the link. If not, you said you're gonna ask your grandbaby to see if she would help out with it.
Yeah, she's more savvy than I. I'm not so technology. Yeah, but I get the help. Yeah.
Good.
So that's it.
All right. If you all just want to look over it, see if there's any tweaks or changes that need to be done, and just keep just hit a reply with either good to go or what you think needs to be changed in it. And
Okay.
if we reach the point of good to go, then I'll just go ahead and post it to the discussion for us.
Okay.
All right, I have sent that file off.
All right. Well, until
Okay.
next
Thank
time.
you.
Hope everyone takes it easy.
You all do the same.
Thank you very much,
No
guys.
problem.
Okay,
Y'all have a
good
good
one.
evening.
Thank you, you too. Didn't do well in the discussion. Really?